Welcome to our Talk Travel Series 2. This is your weekly travel inspiration and information. We aim to tempt you with so many different holiday ideas and introduce you to tour operators that maybe you haven't heard of, but we know are top of our little gem list at Delmar World. Well, this week we're talking about river cruising, and certainly I, as many of you know, am an avid ocean cruiser, and a couple of years ago I decided to try river cruising. I've got to say, I wondered why I'd never tried it before, because it was brilliant, absolutely amazing. It's so easy, and you go into the little towns, cities, villages, and visit so many pretty places, and the journey is very pretty as well. But also what I'm finding is that people now who are coming into the office talking to us about what they want to do now and in the future, they're looking for a smaller ship experience, a more intimate experience. I don't know whether that's a lockdown thing and a pandemic post desire, but that is what we're finding, that the huge cruise ships are not appealing to everyone right now. So river cruising is a really good one to home in on. And also, as you know, we always have very good relationships with our tour operators, and we choose the tour operators that reflect very much the ethics that we've got at Delmar, putting the customer first, offering excellent advice, but also the product that that this particular tour operator offers is luxury, absolute luxury. And doesn't that sound amazing right now? So I'm going to pass you over right now to Lee, and he is from Uniworld River Cruises. I'm delighted to welcome you, Lee. Welcome.
It's a pleasure once again to be here, and I'm just going to share my screen so everybody can see what I can see full screen. So yeah, it's a pleasure to be here and to be invited back along again to Talk Travel. My name is Lee Emerson. I'm the sales manager for Uniworld Boutique River Cruises. And today, in partnership with Delmar World, we're going to be telling you all about river cruising and why it should be your choice of the next holiday. And then we're going to go into how Uniworld elevate our river cruise to a whole different level, to anything that you may have heard or seen before. So it's going to be an exciting time. I'm really looking forward to speaking with Anne along the way. And hopefully at the end of the presentation, you get a flavour of what it's like to travel on one of our boutique river cruises. And hopefully you're inspired to maybe look at these for 2022 or 2023 and beyond. But before we go into why river cruising, a little bit about who we are. We are part of the TTC, or more commonly known as the Travel Corporation. We are a family-run company, like Delmar World, and we've been operating now for over 100 years, believe it or not. We started off as hoteliers in South Africa, and our company ethos is to put the customer at the heart of everything that we do. So we really do create enriching travel and hospitality experiences that are on a luxury and premium level. Now, you may have heard of some of our sister brands, Insight Vacations, Luxury Gold, who specialise in premium guided journeys for small groups. But when it comes to Uniworld, our real link is with our hotel company. This is part of us itself. This is the Red Carnation Hotel Collection, a series of elegant, boutique-styled five-star hotels situated around the world, and they really do blend what a river cruise is like with Uniworld. Our river cruises with Uniworld resonate the area that we sail through, and they are like five-star boutique ships on the water. Now, Anne, I believe you've had the pleasure of staying in one of our Red Carnation hotels, so you know all about the quality. I think you may be muted there, Anne, because I can't hear you. There, you're back.
I'm back. I wasn't allowed to unmute myself, so
it proves we're doing this live, doesn't it?
That was very difficult for me, not being able to unmute. Okay, so I have actually, yeah, I love the Red Carnation Group. They're really standout accommodations Very luxurious. I stayed at the Oyster Box in Durban, and it was very special. It's not just luxury, it's character as well, and terrific service. And they're all different, aren't they? All of the Red Carnation hotels.
And that's very much like our river cruises. As we go into it today, you'll know that every single one of our beautiful ships, it actually mirrors the areas that we are sailing through. So they are all very different and all very unique. Thanks so much, Fran. So why a river cruise? Why should you be looking at a river cruise for your next holiday? Well, first and foremost, it's the incredible convenience. Anne mentioned it at the beginning of the presentation, the ability to go on these majestic river cruises through some of the most spectacular scenery within Europe and also around the world, because we do operate globally as well. But having that ability to do it and just unpack once, it's fantastic as you sail through and see a spectacular different scenery every single day from your stateroom on board these majestic ships. Also, smaller ships and fewer guests. With Uniworld, we are operating with a capacity of about 130 guests, which is great. And by nature, because you're on the river, it's a very safe way to cruise. You're not out in big blue oceans. You're actually close to the land. And because of where these rivers go and where we can get to, it is truly immersive. We can actually go right into the heart of these beautiful towns and cities along these rivers along the way. So every day is different, every day is exciting, and a river cruise is a great way to do that. Now, Anne's mentioned before she's an avid ocean cruiser, and we're not trying to compete with ocean cruising, we're just trying to say there is another option there for you as well. Ocean cruising is fantastic, but river cruising is slightly different because there is a small amount of guests on board. We also, with Uniworld, have a massive attention to customer service, making sure that our guests feel looked after, feel like they're on an intimate cruise. It's personable. And so in relation to our crew to passenger ratio, we have one member of crew for every 2.7 guests. When you go on one of our Uniworld river cruises, there's no immigration, there's no queuing. So it's a seamless door-to-door experience. And we also include all our onshore experiences as well. So you can choose to do as little or as much as you like as you set sail one of our beautiful river cruises. And we talked before about where you can go. There's nothing quite like sailing into the heart of some of these majestic destinations. And within Europe, we actually sail along the river Seine right into the heart of Paris, a few minutes away from the Eiffel Tower. You can see there the middle picture along the Danube as we set sail into Budapest, when you've got the beautiful Parliament buildings on one side and the castle part of Buda on the other side. It's incredible to know that you are docking a few minutes from these major towns in cities. And one of my personal favorites that we're going to be getting into is when we arrive in Venice and we actually dock in the Venetian lagoon. So it's this intimate feeling that you have on a Uniworld river cruise ship, and this immersive experience, so you can really get into the heart of these destinations as well. Now, Anne's probably noticed I've got my glasses on today, Anne, and it's because of this map. There's a lot there on here to show. And I really wanted to just show this map because a lot of people quite rightly think of Europe when it comes to our river cruising, and we have options all over Europe. We've just released one of our brand new super ships on the Douro in Portugal, the SS São Gabriel, which is absolutely spectacular.
That is so popular. Sorry to interrupt you, but wow, isn't that a popular cruise for next year, the Douro?
It's doing so well in and out of Porto with the option to extend. We always give the option to extend. As you well know, with Delmar, we can give the option to extend in Lisbon as well. So if you want to go and try those beautiful pastéis de nata, those beautiful Portuguese custard tarts, you can. But it's a stunning river cruise along the Douro Valley. Some incredible wine tasting along the way. France, of course, wow, there's so many options in France, the River Seine, to going down into the Dordogne River in Bordeaux. We've got Italy and the River Po. Lots of people forget Italy. We are exclusively the only luxury river cruise company in Italy that operates, and also Eastern Europe as well, traveling on the magnificent Danube from Hungary through to Slovakia, Austria, and into the Czech Republic as well. But don't just stop there. And you've probably seen in the last few months, there's a neat, I think, because many of our guests, many of your guests have not traveled now for 2 or 3 years. People are looking further afield, aren't they? They're looking at these dream destinations. They're looking at places like Vietnam, maybe
Yeah,
China, India. These long haul destinations are becoming
absolutely.
quite popular again, aren't they?
The Mekong is so, it attracts so many people, and I know you've got the most beautiful ship on the Mekong. And didn't Jane McDonald go on the Mekong with you?
She did, and she went also on our Mother Teresa ship as well. And
Yeah.
she's now one of our number one fans.
Oh,
She absolutely, I think, because she's well accustomed to cruising, as we all know. When she actually stepped on board our vessel, she was like, "Wow, this is a different level, really, to anything that she'd experienced, especially on a river before." So
yeah, but I mean, I'm a huge fan of Jane McDonald, I have to say, but on the Mekong, I knew she was going through a bit of a cultural change. It took her a little while, but being on board, it really helped her acclimatize, because that
yeah,
cultural shock, sometimes it's a bit too much. You kind of need to be able to retreat back on board. And that really helped. She saw the destination, she was able to enjoy the wonderful comforts of on board as well. And she managed to get that across really well. You can find that on catch up. I think you're still able to view it. It's an interesting one.
it's a very good point. We have the same in India, where we travel a part of the Ganges River in the south. Absolutely spectacular, as you can imagine, but there is a culture shock there as well. And we also make sure that when we are taking our guests to places like Agra, we actually stay on land at that point, but we actually stay in a 5-star Overvoid hotel. And because of where it is next to the Taj Mahal in Agra, we've actually arranged for golf buggies, believe it or not, to take our guests from literally the front door of the hotel around the corner to the entrance of the Taj Mahal, and to have exclusive access to the Taj Mahal, both at sunrise and in sunset, if they want to go and do that. And like with all our journeys, and they are fully all inclusive. So all these experiences are included as part of the actual journey. So why Uniworld? Well, we talked about this at the beginning, when we related to the Red Carnation hotels. They are all one of a kind ships. They're not just a standard ship that you'll see on every river. Every single Uniworld ship that we have mirrors the destination that we are traveling through. We have incredible service with that crew to passenger ratio, but also, even though you are traveling on very luxurious ships, soon as you step on board, you do not feel out of place. You feel completely welcomed by the crew and the staff. You feel like you're being welcomed part of a family. And they've got a very special skill at making our guests feel settled and belonging to these incredible journeys. We have a massive focus on the culinary experience on board, which I'll go into shortly. We have multiple dining rooms, so not just one dining room. We have different dining rooms with different flavors, different menus for the guests to choose from. It's completely premium, all-inclusive, the most luxurious all-inclusive river cruise company. And because of our ground operators, because of our company, the TTC, we have amazing range of carefully curated experiences to choose from as well. So I think let's have a look at a short video of what a Uniworld cruise looks and feels like. Lovely. It always makes me want to go away when I see that video. It
Would
does,
you?
it does. But yeah, all the ships are different and they are unique to the areas that we go. So, of course, looking at this beautiful Joie de Vivre, this is our new super ship on the River Seine. This obviously goes through France. The godmother of this ship, believe it or not, Anne, is Joan Collins. of this vessel. It's very sleek, it's very sophisticated, it's very brightly coloured, but you feel like you're in a 6-star Parisian hotel. That's what it feels like when you're on board. So again, guests have a choice of dining rooms. They can choose to dine when they were here. You can see there in the bottom right-hand corner, this is our bistro, Le Bistro, which is very much like the bistros that Picasso used to go to around Montmartre and the Latin Quarter in Paris. And you will see original pieces of art by Picasso on board as well. So it really encapsulates what France is all about. And it docks a few minutes away from the Eiffel Tower. You can actually see that in the bottom right-hand corner there. So magnificent, elegant ships, every single step along the journey. And this is one of my personal favorites, completely different now to when you compare it to the Show de Vivre. This is the super ship Beatrice. She is absolutely beautiful. She sails in Eastern Europe along the Danube. So striking blue colours. All the dining rooms are themed on famous Austrian composers. And as you walk on board, this is what you see, this incredible grand staircase with marble floors and a beautiful Murano glass chandelier. So everything about the journey, everything about the boat itself is made to feel luxurious. I mean, the weight of the cutlery when you sit at the table, the views, the different dining room available, it is a truly luxurious service. And this is one area, Anne, where we are seeing a lot of interest, like Portugal and the Douro. Italy has been very, very popular 2022. And this is our 8 days, Venice to Venice, Venice and the Gems in northern Italy. Now, you can do this as an 8-day river cruise in and out of Venice, or this can be extended to start in Milan for 2 nights prior. Then we take our guests across Italy to Venice, or it can be combined with Uniworld, with Swiss rail as well, through some spectacular rail journeys through Switzerland and on board the Glacier Express. So this is really is a beautiful service. But this 8-day journey, you're looking at just over £2,000, Anne, including your flights, which is really good value for money, isn't it? In terms of what you
It's incredible. And the fact that the do you call them ships or boats if they're river cruise boats?
you can
Ships?
call them boats. It's fine. Yeah.
But the thing is, so many people want to be in Venice. They want to explore Venice, and the hotels are really expensive there. Getting on board and being right in the lagoon area is outstandingly amazing. But also, if you've never sailed out of Venice, it is a real treat. It is so scenic, and you see all of the important parts right from the lagoon area. It's fantastic. So that looks amazing. Absolutely superb. Yeah.
It's you honestly, what you said was perfectly right. Actually arriving along the Grand Canal, going on to docking at the Venetian Lagoon, just a few yards away from St. Mark's Square, is
Wow.
so spectacular, and we feel so privileged to have that experience. This super ship is brand new. We had our first sailing, believe it or not, just last weekend, so we are super excited. But it's been designed to replicate 1930s Venetian life. So the decor is absolutely spectacular. It's beautiful on board.
Actually, I've got to just butt in there because the fact that you have each ship designed around the history, the culture of where you're going to, that in itself really captures the atmosphere, doesn't it? And it also means, because we've got a lot of Uniworld clients who, they may have tried one ship and absolutely loved it. But let's face it, when we go on holiday, trying something new is exciting. So even though they're going with Uniworld, they're trying something new when they get on a different ship, which again is perfect. Yeah.
That is right. And then the food is well on board, and we'll get into that later, but the food on board reflects the areas that we're going to, because it's not brought onto the ship for the whole duration. It's actually our executive chefs go on shore. It's certain areas where we dock to make sure we've got the freshest produce for that day, and we use local sustainable suppliers. So the food reflects the area as well. The decor reflects it on board the ship, reflects the area. The Bellato restaurant, which you can see in the bottom left-hand corner of this image here is been designed on the original Orient Express. So they're like these gorgeous little cabin type dining areas for the guests to enjoy. You've got this gorgeous open deck Lido, which has got al fresco dining available, and Cello's Pizzeria on the top deck. You've got the Cantina, which is this great private dining area that you can see there in the left hand corner. And then the beds are immaculate. I'm just looking at the beds, and we are the only river cruise company in the world that's partnered with Savoy Beds. Now, Savoy Beds are the most expensive, luxurious beds in the whole of the world. They start from anything from 10,000 all the way up to, honestly, it's staggering amount of money just for a bed, because they're all tailor-made, and they still fit these beds in the Savoy in London and many of our Red Carnation properties. So everything is incredible. Even on this actual ship, we've used Fortuny fabrics as well that are from Italy. So it really is a different level to anything that we expect. But the staff make you feel so welcome, make you feel so relaxed from the moment you step on board, which is absolutely spectacular. And there's so much to talk about in regards to our exotic range. And at the moment, we've got an amazing offer where we give a free upgrade one way to business class. It's part of our long haul destinations. But as Anne said at the beginning, Vietnam and Cambodia is very, very special. And to go and do it this way, this is on our brand new super ship, the Mekong Jewel. Now, this only has 68 guests on board. All the rooms are suites. All the suites will come with a butler service, and the butlers are trained to the same level as the butlers in Buckingham Palace. So it is really spectacular. And you can see, again, when we compare the show the Vive, we compare it to what we just seen in the Venezia in Italy, and then look at this. This is very much the area that you are traveling with. It is totally different than the other ships, but it is unique to the area that we are traveling with. And you can see the opulence, everything, the meticulous detail to the ship. So it really does resonate with the area that we are cruising through. And look at the spectacular suites that everybody will get to enjoy on board. And I could definitely see you there, Anne, with a glass of champagne.
I'm there already. I'm there already. I love the idea of that. And as I've said before, I love traveling worldwide, but I know many of our customers are the same, that they want to see the sights, they want to get immersed in the culture, but they always want to come back to a reliable sort of, lovely bedroom and have their evening meal, etc. So the combination of those two is so appealing. It really is gorgeous. Yeah,
works perfectly, like you said. And the service on board, we mentioned it earlier, no request is too large, no detail is too small. That's what it's all about with Uniworld. For the moment you walk on board, they know you by your first name. And they are there to make you feel at home. They are there to do anything for you to feel relaxed. We mentioned before the quality of the butler service you have in your suites, but it's that attention to detail that they give, which is absolutely on a different level. And all our staff employed by the TTC they are Uniworld family. They are not brought on for specific departures. They are trained to deliver the highest in customer service. And it's the little points. I mean, I remember I was on a Uniworld ship a couple of years ago, sailing along the Danube, and every now and again after dinner, I will have a small glass of whiskey. I only like a certain type of whiskey, which is called Lefroy. It's like a very peaty, smoky taste to it. It's the only one I really like. And I remember, I think it was the second night, I spoke to one of the waiters and said, "Would you like an after dinner drink, sir?" And I said, "I love a glass of Lefroy whiskey, but I'm sure you have." Gone, "Oh yes, we have. I'll bring it over to you." And then the following night, he said to me, "Another whiskey, sir?" And I said, "Oh, you know what, actually, I think I will." And before I could even say anything, he was there with a glass of Lefroy. So the note what you like is your preferences. And if you like, you have a dossier, because we are a small group of guests, we'll have a dossier on the guests of what they like, what their preferences are, and it's amazing because it makes you feel like you're on this river cruise by yourself. It's that attention to detail, and it makes Uniworld so unique.
Yeah, really important. Now, can I just go back to the offer that you said was on the Mekong? Because did you say business class
Yeah,
on?
so on our long haul itineraries at the moment, we have what we call a one-way
Yeah.
included business class upgrade.
Okay. And can you choose whether it's outbound or in? You
I
can choose
believe,
which way.
yes, I believe so. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Good. Thank you. That's good for our customers.
Definitely, without a doubt. And we talk about the culinary excellence of traveling on a Uniworld ship. Again, all the menus are designed to reflect the areas that we are traveling with. The ingredients must be the freshest ingredients possible when you're traveling on a Uniworld river cruise. And our executive chefs will go out at port in destination to make sure we are getting the freshest ingredients. So it is like dining in a Michelin starred restaurant every single day on your Uniworld River Cruise. And it is definitely one of the highlights when it comes to the food and the beverage on board. And one of our onshore experiences, if you like to, it can be arranged that you actually go off with one of the executive chefs to one of the local villages, one of the local marketplaces, and see what produce they pick up that day for the evening service. So you can be a part of that process if you want to. If you want to get that real in-depth and immerse yourself within a local destination, that can be arranged for you on board too. But we have cooking demonstrations. We have private dining rooms that will give you a wine and dinner tasting experience along the way. So it's so incredible dining on board a Uniworld vessel. It really is unique. And we are premium all inclusive. So as I mentioned before about the whiskies, there's 28 different types of whiskies that we have. 20 are actually included within the cost of the premium all-inclusive journey. Delicious five-star cuisine, these incredible onshore experiences, all your gratuities, your airport transfers, your Wi-Fi 24/7, wellness centre, and onboard entertainment as well. And we also include the flights within our prices too. So it really is a really inclusive package that you'll be going on when you travel with Uniworld.
And what I would say about that, Lee, because we deal with a lot of different products to a lot of different worldwide destinations. And when we see luxury all inclusive, what we have to do is to take that apart and
Yeah,
compare it with other products that don't include these things. And very often when you bring them parallel, there's very little difference in the cost, but you're getting a much higher quality experience. So thanks for pointing that out.
and thank you so much. That's a really valid point, Anne. That's great, and that's why we rely on the experts like yourself to actually explain this to guests, because sometimes you look at things and they're not the same when you look at the face value. So we do rely on your expertise to explain that. And we also have a huge selection of carefully curated experience we mentioned before. So this can be anything from a village day when you go off to the local villages with a local expert. You can have bike rides on the go day, so you can do some incredible scenic bike rides along the river and into the local towns. We have the bikes on board ready for our guests to go off and explore. And then every single one of our river cruises will have what we call a unique private experiences included just for Uniworld as well. So we take you back to Italy, and then we are, docking on St. Mark's Square. And then if you go into St. Mark's Square in the day, it's very, very busy. There's lots of people there, lots of tourists. Go to St. Mark's Square normally after hours, in the evening time, after dinner, it's a totally different experience. It's a lot quieter. A lot of the tourists have gone off onto the mainland hotels for the day. And it's the true Venetians that are there at night. And what we do with Uniworld is we invite our guests to an after hours visit to St. Mark's Basilica with a local expert who is very much a storyteller in their own right. And they bring this destination to life. So you are not there with the crowds of the day, you are there at night with nobody else. And this is what we call one of our private after hours experiences. Again, included as part of this premium all-inclusive river cruise with Uniworld. So some really unique experiences along the way.
Let's face it, that would be difficult to organise if you were going independently. In fact, you couldn't organise it. So that's you know, a little unique nugget that, let's face it, when we go to these special places, we want to see them properly. We don't want to see them with hordes of other people in the absolute heat without hearing what that person is saying and telling us about the history and the culture. So that's a real important point, that you know, you get these unique experiences. Yeah.
You are totally right. It is so different in the evening time as well, with the candles lighting up the mosaics on the wall. It's magical. You feel special having that experience, and it is a special experience without a doubt. And these are money can't buy experiences that are included as part of the Uniworld cruise experience. And we also want to make sure that we look after our guests on board. So there's a whole range of well-being that's been introduced to our river cruises, where we follow guidance from the CLEAR organisation, World Health Organization, World Travel and Tourism Council as well. So make sure our teams are expertly trained, mandatory well-being travel declarations are taken by all our staff and also our passengers on board, touchless temperature screenings, and so on and so on. There's so much into this, even in regards to the purity that we've used in regards to our air on board, which is on a whole different level to anything I've seen. So if you want the full details, then please let Anne know, and we can in turn supply this to you. So just make sure that you are very comfortable when it comes to going on your river cruise. In terms of offers, we've got some incredible promotions with Delmar World. We use Delmar World because they again, as Anne said at the beginning, they mirror us in terms of their service, their knowledge, and we know that they'll look after their guests. So it's a privilege to actually work in partnership with Delmar World. So some departures at the moment for this year up to 30% off. We've got no solo supplements on selected departures as well. 2022 is where we are seeing a huge amount of interest, and you can book now and save up to 10%. Plus, we have one-way free business class on our exotics. And one of the things I wanted to end by sharing with you is we are currently finalising a personal digital mini brochure with Delmar World. This is for Delmar World because of our relationship, which will go in and it will have all these incredible things we've been talking about available to be sent to you, from the experiences to the dining to the one-of-a-kind award-winning ships that we have, to the book with cruising confidence, flexible travel options. And then we're going to have our river cruises there as part of this beautiful digital mini brochure that we are personalising for Delmar World. So you've got the Venice and Gems one for 2249, incredible value for money. This includes your flights. Brilliant Bordeaux, again for 2249, Paris and Normandy for 2429, Burgundy and Provence. And this goes through, we'll actually have in here all our incredible Uniworld river cruises, not just in Europe. We're also going to include in here some of the options for, you got the Christmas markets, which are very popular, but also some of the options for long haul. So we've got Egypt in there as well, which has been very, very popular for next year. And then you've got the timeless wonders of Vietnam, Cambodia, and the Mekong as well. So that is something that we are personalising just for Delmar World to actually be sent on to you to review and have a look at what we can do to take you away in the future. And as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope that's giving your guests a little insight to what it's like travelling with Uniworld and the quality of our luxury all-inclusive river cruises that are really boutique, and there's nothing quite like them. So it will be a real pleasure and an honour to have some of your guests travel with us in the future.
Oh, thank you so much, Lee. And, you know, brilliant presentation. You've given us a great insight there. I'll tell you what really pleases me is when I see solo supplements. I know it's on selected cruising, but there's a good selection. We have a lot of solo travelers, and I just think partnered with a river cruise, it's the perfect combination. And I also love the fact that there's so much included. And really, the prices are not out of the way at all for the quality and the inclusiveness. So thank you so much. The other thing that I just want to say is that we can build around these cruises. So I know that we can do that with you guys, but if somebody wants something different and it's not part of your portfolio, we can always combine a river cruise with, you know, a week's stay in a villa or whatever. So we're very flexible about what we can design around the programme. So that's it, Lee. Thank you for joining us. Next week, we are going family cruising and I think multi-generational cruising with Royal Caribbean. So same time next week, do join us for that. But can I see if anybody, before I do leave you, have we got any questions? Oh, I forgot to look, so bear with me. Okay. Yeah, Lee, I've got a question for you. Sorry, I nearly let you go then without letting you go without asking you the questions. With regard to COVID, we have to ask this. A lot of tour operators and cruise lines have offered certain guarantees, you know, that if you book now and we, heaven forbid, find ourselves in a difficult situation next year, is there any sort of guarantee that would help people to transfer deposits and balance payments if that were the case?
Yeah, we do. We do have flexibility in terms of our deposits. And what we have done, if it comes to that unlikely situation where we do have to cancel due to obviously lockdown issues, then we do offer a price match guarantee if guests want to travel on the same cruise the following year, in the same month. We do offer that as well.
That's good. I have noticed prices obviously go up for the following year, and with there being uncertainty, so that's a good guarantee. Okay.
We want to make sure that we look after the guests that have had the confidence to book. So if the worst comes to worst, where we can't travel, then our number one priority is to look after you and look after the guests and to make sure that they feel comfortable to book again for the future.
Brilliant, thank you. And another one was the specialty restaurants, or some of the restaurants that you talked about. There was a choice on board, but with many cruise lines, they charge extra. Are there supplements for some of the restaurants?
The majority of the restaurants are all inbuilt. So if you look for the La Viennetta, for example, Volatos, which is the main dining room, which has that beautiful silver service, Michelin star quality, it's all included. So is the panini bar, so is the pizzeria on the open deck. But there is a private, very small, only has 8 guests in there for this incredible wine and the tasting experience with the meal as well. And that one you do have to pay a supplement for. It's the only one. So there may be one dining room on board where you can pay supplement for if you want to dine in there, but everything else is included.
Thank you for that, Lee. And I did have a question on tipping, but it came after you'd clarified that that was included.
The gratuities is included, all your flights.
Yeah.
So.
And also the other question was for the Basilica, you talked about a private, well, a lovely tour for your clients.
Yeah.
That you know, we were saying how beautiful that was, but is that a big supplement?
No, that's included. That's included within the
cost. Included. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I know the brochure that we're working on together will give a lot of this detail. Yeah. So, you know, for those of you that want more detail, either type it in the chat box below now, or you know, give us a call or send us an email, because obviously there's a lot that we've covered today, but there's always things that people want to know that we haven't covered. So now I can let you go, Lee. Now you've answered the questions. Thanks so much. And as I say, next week, we are covering Royal Caribbean cruises, and they are ideal for families and multi-generational holidays. So do join us next week. And in the meantime, have a great week. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.